Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Crypto News Podcast. We are buzzing as always, still back in Toronto. I'm not going to lie, I love fall in Toronto. It's one of the most elite seasons of the year. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. You got the trees turning over, and it's got that like crispy air. I will say, when I was young, maybe there's just because you didn't spend as much time as a human on the planet. I felt like fall and spring were longer. Now in Toronto and Canada, well, I can't speak for all of Canada, but in Toronto, it feels like we have 2 seasons only. It feels like we have 2 weeks of fall, 2 weeks of spring, and it literally just goes from cold as shit to hot as shit right away. And I sort of hate that. But anyways, enough about the weather. Super pumped to have today's guest back on the show. He was back on about 2 years and a couple months ago. It was an absolute banger, and he is back. Alex Shevchenko is coming in hot, the co-founder of Aurora and Defuse, pioneering next-gen UX with intents and chain signatures for an agentic user-first future. Defuse Labs develops near, and again that is the blockchain near intents to enable seamless cross-chain interactions in an automated world connecting AI, services, and financial applications. He's on a mission to make blockchains invincible, creating seamless, secure, and intuitive crypto experiences for everyday users. Guys, we've heard about this agentic future in crypto. There's only a couple teams who have the wherewithal and the sauce and the bandwidth to do it. This is one of them. Alex, pumped to have you on again, mate. How you doing this lovely afternoon?
Always good, Matt. Thanks for having me. After this introduction, I'm feeling that my credentials over the time that I'm working in crypto gets longer and longer.
Every couple of years I have you on, the bio gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Alex, great to have you on again here, mate. Very quickly. Near on the TL, 2021 when we started the pod, Near was all over the place. 2023 had you on the pod, still all over the place. Present day, it's still all over the place, but I don't see it on the timeline as much as I used to. Again, should that be a good litmus test? Maybe, maybe not, but let's jump into it. What is happening with Near present day?
Yeah. So I do believe that right now we have like a little bit of a biased setup of the market. What many people are looking into, engagement rates, Kaito, all of that stuff. People are just farming out engagement. And have you seen the loud launch?
Yeah. Yes.
And what happened with the token right after it?
Yes. Yes.
It only goes that far, right? But the persistence of the Near protocol, from my point of view, is something that should be fueling the enthusiasm of the people who are interested in whatever Near is building. And now the things that Near is focusing on, there are like several legs that Near is standing on. I would say that there are clearly 2 of them. The first one is chain abstraction. This is a narrative that has been out for some period of time, and I do believe that Near is pioneering many groundbreaking technologies in this direction. The idea behind it is pretty simple. In the majority of the cases, and especially in the Web 2, people do not care about the infrastructure where their products are working. Do I care that my Aurora Ring application is written with Swift or with something else? Do I care where their servers are located, whether it is in AWS or Google Cloud?
Such a good point. No one in Web 2 cares if the program is C++, if it's JavaScript, if it's no one cares.
Exactly.
As long as it works.
Yeah.
But in crypto we have cults though. It's a different
Exactly.
world. Yeah.
Exactly. That's why sometimes I'm saying that we don't have users in crypto, we have investors. That's why we are kind of taking care of our backs. That's why we have these cults. Now, the cross-chain this cross-chain and chain abstraction means that we need to simplify the interaction for the users with their applications, and we need to kind of erase a little bit the borders in between the blockchain so people are not thinking about that stuff. And I'm particularly focused on this direction. I have been building Rainbow Bridge back, several years ago, and then Aurora also an ability. This is a solution that allows people to launch their own chains really, really quickly. And now I'm working on, and I'm continuing working on these 2 projects. But besides that, I'm working on Near Intents. This is like an intense protocol, and we're going to dive a bit deeper into it. So this direction is one thing. Remove the borders. And the borders are not only in between the crypto ecosystems, but also in between the normal fiat Web 2 world and the crypto itself. It's pretty hard to move assets across it, and we need to simplify it. This is what we're doing with Near Intents. Now, there is a second part, and that where Near is innovating a lot, and this is AI space. And there are many different things that are happening there. But the most important thing is what we call decentralized confidential machine learning, or DCML. And this concept is the following. In the current state of the market, there are a handful of centralized companies that are having their own data centers and centrally doing machine learning. And nobody actually understanding what are these models are trained for, whether they are biasing your point of view towards being more Republican or maybe being more Democrat, or whether they're changing the inputs and they're kind of hiding and trying to bias something, right? You never know. And these companies are also scared because in case somebody will understand what are the models that they're building, what are the weights of these models, and these are not a very big sets of data, then all of their IP, all of their value that they have created is going to disappear. So the confidentiality around the models, but still being able to monetize these models, is something that is unsolved right now. We either have centralized models that are monetized right now by OpenAI, Anthropic, and others, or we do have the open source models from DeepSeek and Facebook that are not monetized at all. There is nothing in between. There is nothing like a model that is unbiased, that is, in Ethereum terms, credibly neutral, and you can prove the fact that it was educated on some particular sets of data and is running on some particular benchmarks, and it is not changing the way how you're thinking, while still developers of these models are being able to monetize it. So this is what we call DCMLs, decentralized confidential machine learning, and NEAR is innovating in this direction. There are many different things that are connected with this, including AI cloud, the shade agents, the autonomous agents that are working within this paradigm of DCML. And this agent also need to have the economy layer, which is the bridge. This autonomous AI economy is the bridge in between the AI and the blockchain. And I'm a big advocate for this type of a use case.
And sorry, just to go over that, that was decentralized, commercialized machine learning.
Decentralized confidential.
Confidential. Got you. Decentralized confidential machine learning. Okay.
Yeah. So the confidential means that nobody will understand what is the model. And decentralized, this is a little bit more forward-looking piece that would allow for decentralized training of these models, so that third party can have a GPU cluster and it is going to train the model, but their confidentiality means that they are not able to steal it. And decentralization means that there can be multiple of these third parties. You don't need to assemble a gigantic cluster that only a handful of companies are able to do in order to train your AI models, so that it is a more of a democratic approach and allowing more companies to enter the AI game.
Give me some use cases here, mate. Give me some top of mind use cases.
So
on
here
the
is
on the consumer and institutional side.
Yeah. So this concept is more of a technology and vision and a direction here, right? But here is several of use cases that are bringing some additional new features to life. Let's take a look at OpenAI. They have their own computational resources, and at the moment, these computational resources are shared in between two main tasks. First one is inference for ChatGPT.
Okay.
So when you're saying, "Hey, Chat, how are you?" it needs to answer you something. This is what is called inference. And then they're spending electricity and GPUs onto this. There is a second part, and the second direction is the development of the new models. Probably everybody think that GPT-5 is not a big success, so they really need to deliver then GPT-6.
Yeah, I agree.
And then they need to train it. So they are spending these cycles and energy and GPUs into this. So it's like sustaining the current products and also investing in the new products.
Gotcha.
Now they have this dilemma of where to put resources. They don't want to screw the current customers because then they're going to move to other products. But from the other standpoint, they would like to keep their lead with their models. And that's a very, very tough question for Sam Altman to figure out.
Yes.
Now, what decentralized and confidential machine learning can deliver is that if Sam would be able to put the inference part, the model, in a confidential way outside of their own equipment into the equipment of third parties that have this equipment, and there are tons of GPU clusters out there. And they can be sure that these third parties are not going to screw them, and they're not going to just steal the model weights and then make it public, or maybe sell it, repackage it as other product. Then why not? This would free up space and their own equipment to train their own models, and then it will be really great. So they're going just to outsource inference to somebody else, to some operators of it, and then they can invest more into keeping up the lead. And here is the thing why this is not done is because they are really struggling to make sure that nobody's going to steal it. Like it's very unclear how to do it. But with the development of DCML that is based on this concept of trusted execution environment, you can think of that you can have the model, the weights, in an encrypted state, which can be decrypted only inside of the NVIDIA chip. So like nobody, even the operator of the chip, is able to see what is inside. It's completely closed. And then with the development of this solution is already in the market, it is in the hardware, but we need to build up a proper product around it and kind of the proper distribution and connect this cluster, do the provisioning of these clusters and compute power and stuff like that. And this use case literally would, for every single major centralized company that is out there, it will double their capacity for the training of new models, improving AI research and stuff like that.
That's wild.
That's one of the use cases that DCML is enabling right here, right now, but it's only one.
So why haven't they done that yet? Just as I assume the missing piece still is the second part, the confidential part.
Maybe there is some negotiations are happening already. Who knows?
Okay. I like it. Good to know.
I don't know. I'm not very deep into the AI direction, but this is a clear and straightforward use case, and I'm pretty sure that there is a number of people who are working on this.
Working on it right now. Super interesting. Wow, what a start to the show. We'll come back to this. I want to talk about intents for a bit, and I want to talk about on-chain agentic worlds. I think this first came across the pod last year, mate. I forget who it was. I should know. My apologies to whoever was the first guest to drop this. I guess when did ChatGPT was what, 2022, I think came out?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I think end of 2022, went mainstream 2023. Also, quick side note, the amount of friends I have who still don't use it every day, maybe not just ChatGPT, but ChatGPT, Grok, Perplexity, whatever, it's wild to me. Absolutely insane. I don't understand how, but hey, that's just me. But going back into it, when are we going to see this world where agents literally run crypto? And what excites me, I'll just sort of preface this, in a traditional, in a Web 2 world, I mean, I'm Canadian, we have 5 banks in Canada. I don't know anyone who uses one of the smaller neo or niche banks outside of the big 5. Everyone uses the big 5. There's no way that I could go on ChatGPT and say, hey, book this flight using my credit. No, it's just not going to happen. I feel like that has to be done on some type of decentralized payment rails, aka the crypto world. This is where agents can get really fun. I'm going to Argentina next week. I would love to just go on Air Canada, or not even go on Air Canada, go on my agent that Alex and the Near team and Aurora and Defuse developed and say, hey, book me a flight. I want to fly business class if possible. If not, throw me in premium economy. Here's how much I'm willing to spend. I'd like to get a window seat, and I need one for my girlfriend beside me. Here's my wallet. Fire away. Boom. We're getting close to that, but walk me through what this agentic crypto AI world will look like.
Yeah. So first of all, I'm very aligned with you that one of the best use cases in the intersection of AI and crypto is just the value transfer.
100%.
The traditional financial rails are not suited to be
No.
operated by computer programs.
No.
It has never been designed for it, right? And from that standpoint, you can do some kind of moves in that direction, but still it is pretty hard. So I do believe that crypto has a good shot of becoming a standard for the rails for AI economy. This autonomous AI economy, I think this might be kind of the next quantum leap for crypto. And just crypto power in this can be a massive unlock. Now, with regard to timing, there are lots of debates around this stuff, right? And, the authors of this research paper, AI 2027, they're saying that 2027 is going to be the last moment in time when people will be able to influence whether they're going to die or not going to die because of the misaligned AI and stuff like that. Some other people are saying that the timeline is a little bit longer than that. There are lots of sudden fear around this stuff. But I'm pretty sure that we are actually going in this direction. And there are quite a lot of very simple things that can be automated with computer program and especially with AI. Do you remember, several weeks ago, maybe a couple of months, Anthropic has been running this experiment when Claude was running a vending machine.
Yes.
It completely fails.
Yeah.
So that experiment was done super pristine, super clean. There were no additional instructions that were provided to the model that they need to work, the things that they need to optimize for and stuff like that. And I've seen already several people that were trying to actually provide more inputs to the AI models to run this type of simple businesses. Managing procurement of supplies, managing cleaning and stuff like that. And that's not a very hard task to do. And some of these people are actually reporting that they are able to get fully autonomous businesses that are operated by these models to be sustainable and generating revenues on a time frame of 3 months already, or maybe 2 months already. So I don't think that we are very far from the point when we're going to see these autonomous businesses starting to pop up. Obviously, at the moment, it's not quite autonomous. Because there needs to be a legal entity behind it and probably a bank account in order to pay it and stuff like that. But once the intense infrastructure, once this complementary piece that would allow AI agents not to think about the legal wrappers and stuff like that, once it is going to be in place, we're going to see more and more of these things popping up. Is it hard to manage for example, a 3D printing farm? Probably not that much. You just need to hire a person who is going to change the filament, which is the plastic there. And then this person needs to package the goods and then send it to whoever is buying these goods on Etsy.
And in 10 years, we'll have a robot too.
And in 10 years, or maybe even less, the robots are going to do this. So that's not a big problem. The same thing with coffee shops, same thing with vending machines, right? There are a bunch of very simple businesses that can be and should be automated so that humans would be able to spend their creative energy in a much kind of more interesting domains, so that we are consuming these as a service. And because it is automated, it also becomes cheaper. So there will be much less margin in these businesses, which would result in better prices for everybody and freeing up the time for people to do something better than that. And I'm really looking forward to this. People are discussing, and there are some kind of arguments, what is the time horizon behind this? My personal opinion is that for simple businesses like the ones that I mentioned here, probably in the time frame of 2 years, there will be a substantial chunk of these businesses that are going to get automated. For a more complicated and sophisticated, I'm not talking about automated Apple, but kind of more complicated businesses, I think the automation for many of them is going to happen within like 5 years time frame. And I'm pretty bullish on this stuff. Once again, I do not feel that this is a threat, but rather I do believe that this is bringing more efficiency. We're going to spend less resources into these margins that are within these businesses, which means more accessibility to this and freeing up the time for people on focusing on something that is more creative, more deep, more thoughtful, that we need to spend our time on.
Well said. I mean, it's going to be a fun, I'm just taking notes while you're talking there. It's going to be a fun world. It's going to be really, really interesting.
Yeah.
I do think, and again, this is perhaps you and I share this hot take, but I do think this will create way more micro businesses. I think a lot of people will be able to, I mean, a lot of people have said, oh, we're going to have a one-person unicorn where a one-person company is going to create $1 billion worth of value. I do think that will happen. And I think a lot of people who have very unique skill sets will be able to use AI to make profitable and revenue generating businesses literally with the help of 0 other people. I mean, we already see a present day with, you know, the gig economy using Fiverr, using Upwork, using whatever the case may be, but using agents, I think is going to be way more fun. And to your point, I think a lot more creative work is going to happen too, because all the bullshit work that we have to do present day will be automated. I even look at a lot of the bullshit work that is now cut out of my workflow just from 3 years ago, where it's like, oh, you know, when I do something now, I will write a little stencil. I'll then plug it into multiple different LLMs. I will clean it up. I'll probably plug it in once more and boom, I have it. And there we are. Whereas before it would take me hours, now it takes me minutes. So I'm really excited for the future. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. The only thing is that obviously the people whom I do not envy are the college students. Because
they're cooked
for the whole
they're
of their life
cooked.
They were prepared for a different version of the future, and now they would need to make a very hard decision to probably take everything that they know, put it in mostly in the trash bin, and then adapt to this new world. For more adult people like myself, it is a little bit easier because we have some already background, you know, some savings, you know, all the stuff. Turned up. For people who are younger, this change is going to be easier. But for college students, do not envy them.
How about going to university nowadays too, though? I know we're going a little off topic, but going to university or college, I mean, geez Louise, you could save $100,000 and, you know, just ask ChatGPT to teach you about anything and everything.
Yeah.
The amount of weird subjects that I've learned about through ChatGPT is crazy. Whereas before it would take hours of research on Google, fact checking XYZ. Now it's just tell me the history of Alex and boom, I have it. Instead, I'd have to click on the top 20 links that pop up on Google, lurk your Twitter, lurk your Instagram, maybe find a Reddit, maybe find a friggin' Pinterest to see what you like. Now it's just boom, I get it all right away.
So I think that universities are not going to get eliminated.
I agree.
I have this mental model of that, you know, the primary education is there in order to say to people like, you don't know that math is important yet because you want to play games, but it's actually important and it's going to be very useful for you. So trust me, you need to learn it right now. That's the first thing. And second aspect here is the social aspect. People 100%. Are also learning how to talk with each other.
It teaches you how to adult, and it teaches you discipline. I used to have 2,500 word essays that I would leave till 4 hours before. Like that teaches you discipline. That's like when your boss says, hey, I need this on my desk in 4 hours, you got to haul ass and grind. So that's it though. I think uni's 2 things. It's social and it's discipline, unless you're in STEM. If you're outside of STEM, I studied sports management, colossal waste of time. But I learned a ton about life. I learned a ton about business. I learned about networking, learned how to party, and, you know, and I learned about discipline. So
So that's the gap that universities are filling within this stuff. People who are only doing the elementary school, just the school part, they are told what to learn. In universities, you are there, like the tutors are saying and the teachers are saying, well, choose what you want to learn. And then figure out your thesis. And I can help you, but this is what, and universities, there is this meta piece there that it teaches you how to learn stuff.
I don't think so.
I think like if there is a proper university, it actually pushes you to learn how to learn stuff. So this is like a meta thing.
I
That
think
you
that's
need to
more.
plan stuff. You need to understand that, okay, and in order to get to this grade, I need to get this amount of marks, this
That's
amount of
fair.
essays and stuff like
That's
that.
fair. That's fair.
You
Yeah.
plan a little bit. You start. You invest your time. You plan your day. Okay, I'm gonna on a date today, so tomorrow I need to
Yeah.
study more. You know, all of that stuff. It teaches you how to plan this stuff, because before that you don't have it. And people are just telling you, you go here. There is
Yeah.
a homework.
Yeah.
There is a whatever, like an essay that you need to run. Like this it's very, very strict.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, things are going to change a lot. Let's get back to the AI
Okay,
agents.
Quick shout out to our sponsor of the show, Prime XPT. Alex and I are on the roll. We did go a little off the rails here, but we are going to get back on the AI agent train. Huge shout out to Prime XPT, longtime friends and longtime sponsors of the Crypto News podcast. We love the team at Prime XPT as they offer a robust trading system for both beginners and professional traders. It doesn't matter if you're a rookie or a vet, you can easily design and customize your layouts and widgets to best fit your trading style. Prime XPT is also running an exclusive promo for listeners of the Crypto News podcast. Use the promo code CryptoNews50. It's CryptoNews50, all in word, CryptoNews50 to receive 50% of your deposit credited to your trading account. Sorry, I always do those so quick. If you listen to the podcast on 2x speed, you probably can't even understand the ad read. My apologies. I will get slower on that, but we are tight for time and we got to get back to Alex here. Okay, let's keep going. I mean, geez, you and I need a proper Joe Rogan pod here. Let's tie this into Near. A lot of different blockchains are attempting to build agents on their chain. Near is one of the few where you can actually do this. Deposit, trade, withdraw quickly, as per what I was sent in the show notes. 1.2 second settlements plus smart contract security, and pretty much near zero fees. This sounds like a place you'd want to use AI agents on very quickly, and this is a very difficult question, so my apologies in advance. What makes Near, a little better suited for AI agents versus some of its competitors and other chains?
Yeah. So once again, there are these two legs that are playing, two legs of Near that are contributing into it. First one is that within the AI direction that Near is executing, there are a bunch of technologies that are developed in order to make sure that it is very easy to run your AI agents. You can run it on a third-party machines without you losing the control over your AI agent and stuff like that. So this is what DCML is bringing in. But what Near Intense is bringing, and this is something that you have been referring to a little bit earlier, and this seamless interoperability in between crypto ecosystems and soon also fiat rails. And it allows your AI agent just to have one on-chain identity and be able to allocate funds and pay people and pay other AI agents in whatever way they are willing to accept it. And the technology behind it, the thing that is important there is specifically the chain abstraction, because you would like to erase these boundaries in between these different payment methods and this value transfer use case.
Keeping it cleaner.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you're in Canada, then your counterparty wants to get CAD. But if you are in EU, like myself, then probably counterparties here would like to get euro.
Yeah.
And like you would like to somehow remove this problem. And if China is doing a good manufacturing thing and your AI agent is willing to manufacture some things in China, then like somehow it needs to be dealt.
Yeah.
And the lower there will be the problems on these boundaries, and the simpler will be the value transfer use case, the easier it will be for the businesses to go to market, and in general for these autonomous businesses to go to market, and the higher the chances of success for this would be. That's why chain abstraction particularly is so important in order to enable this future autonomous AI economy.
Chain abstraction is huge for this. Noted. Okay. Geez Louise. Market makers. Liquidity for market makers. Another huge part here. I mean, instead of relying on routing bots, Near intents work directly with the market makers. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
That's huge. That also needs to happen in order for chain abstraction to be a thing, and to not have liquidity fragmentation, and for these AI agents to actually execute what we want them to execute.
Right. So there is the first and very simple use case around intents. Besides intents being like a philosophy of how you're designing the products, that says that the thing that matters is what a person wants to do rather than a process how he's going to get there. But besides that, the first and very simple use case is just value transfer in between the chains. Right? So the cross-chain swaps. Literally, this is what everybody are doing in crypto, because you're trading, and if you're trading Bitcoin to stables on centralized exchanges, well, this is actually a cross-chain swap. There is no USDC on Bitcoin blockchain. USDC is on Ethereum and a bunch of other chains. And if you're swapping Bitcoin into it, this is a cross-chain swap, right? Now, this use case is one of the cornerstone use cases for chain abstraction and the value transfer. And in order to make it efficient, we cannot rely on the somewhat outdated models of Uniswap, especially for big assets. Like, it's very hard to imagine that then your counterparty, whom you're hiring to perform some work, is going to accept, Titcoin, like the next one meme coin on Solana. Probably they would like to accept stable coins or Sol or BTC or ETH or Near for that point. For these big assets, the markets need to be deep. You cannot just lock tons of liquidity in the AMM style pools. It is extremely capital inefficient. This capital is not going to deliver good prices, especially for sizable trades. It cannot work. Like, it is impossible. For long tail assets, that's the only way how it can work. But for big assets, this is something that just cannot work. And that's why the best possible way how to create markets is give an opportunity for people to be makers and takers. So you need to create like an order book style solution where there are proficient automated market participants or market makers who are creating the books, and they are adjusting it depending on the how the market goes, so that the people who are coming and occasionally performing the trades, they are able to perform these trades. And
Gotcha.
that's a pretty important thing that increases the capital efficiency for everybody. We are actually moving even past that, because in order to create the book, you need to hold the inventory. And we're developing an additional feature for the market makers that would allow them to instantly, just in time of a trade, borrow assets that the user wants to get directly from the on-chain markets. And this would allow them not to keep the inventory, so that they're not exposed to the inventory risk.
That's huge.
This would increase the capital efficiency even more. And once again, the higher the efficiency, the lower are the prices, or the lower are the fees, the better are the prices for the users. And the bigger is the gap in between the traditional financial rails and the crypto rails, which means that the AI economy, autonomous AI economy, is going to be much, much more efficient than whatever is there, so that we can solidify our position as the go-to way how to do value transfers for AI agents.
Wow, well said. I got to have you on for round 2. We're getting tight for time here, and we barely scratched the surface, but this was a great epi, deep dive into intents, agents, decentralized confidential machine learning, AI LLM lifecycle. We touched a bunch of it. I wish we had more time, but we don't. Before we let you go, any news? I think you said we may have some sweet news popping off. Again, this episode is going to air on Monday, the 29th. And I think we have some really good news coming out. I could be wrong there. Can you give us anything before we let you go?
Yeah, so I can tell you that within a couple of weeks after the release of this episode, there will be a new part that contributes into both AI direction of Near and the chain abstraction direction and intents. And this is the release of a project that is called Calyx. It is a Calyx, yes. It's located at calyx.xyz. And this is a launchpad that is operating cross-chain that allows you to participate in the token sales with any tokens. They are all going to be automatically converted and they're going to be taken care of. And for the founders who are launching their tokens, they are able to launch it on any chain and potentially on multiple chains, actually right out of the box. And this solution is getting into play, and the reason why I'm saying that it kind of bridges, it builds a bridge in between the AI and blockchain is because the autonomous AI agents or these autonomous businesses, they have the value, and there should be a value sharing mechanism, which the most straightforward way how to do this is to do it through a token that is launched and is associated with this autonomous agent. And then through this token, there is a value sharing or the value attribution that is happening into this token. So then you can expect that on Calyx, there will be tons of AI agents that are launching their tokens. And these tokens are connected with this autonomous AI economy. In general, near intents ultimately are unlocking autonomous finance. We're given to the DeFi users the autonomy to transact with any asset across any blockchains. For the AI agents, we're given the autonomy to securely transact on behalf of these users. And we are not just a transaction layer across cross-chain swaps, but there are much more behind what we're building. And we are building this foundation for the autonomous AI economy, and Calyx is contributing into it. But there are many, many more things that in the works at the moment that are going to improve efficiency, improve capital efficiency, improve speeds, improve the finality time, and things like that to make sure that crypto is becoming a default way how AI economy is working.
Jeez, Alex, what a run. Appreciate you coming on as always. Let's not wait 2 years next time. Let's shake on that. We'll make it happen.
Sounds
really
good.
Appreciate you coming on as always. Before we let you go, can you please let our listeners know where they can find you personally, Aurora, Defuse, and everything else you're doing online and on socials?
Yeah, so if you want to follow me, I'm mainly located in crypto Twitter. You can find me there at Alex Aurora Dev. Pretty simple. Mainly sharing there some thinking around the future of development of everything, as well as insights into Aurora and Near intents. Near is also there, located at Near Protocol, and as well as Aurora, which is located at Aurora is Near. So there are quite a lot of information there. Yeah, and actually, well, if you want only the quality content, then please follow only me. Don't follow the other two. But if you want a bunch of ads also popping in your feed, you can follow the other two. I'm just joking.
I love it. So good, folks. What an episode with Alex Shevchenko, co-founder of Aurora and Defuse, obviously buzzing on Near as well. Huge shout out to Alex for coming on. Always very insightful and dropping knowledge bombs left, right, and center, and always gives me a lot of homework to do after as he makes my head spin in the best way possible. So shout out Alex and the team for that. Speaking of the team, thank you guys for everything. Love you guys. Appreciate you. Daryl, you're crushing it. Keep on doing your thing. To the listeners, if you guys enjoyed this one, please hammer that subscribe button, hammer that like button. It would mean the world. And back to the listeners, love you guys. Keep on growing those bags and keep on staying healthy, wealthy, and happy. Love you guys. Appreciate you. And I'll see you on the next one. Ciao.